Welcome to The Holistic Entrepreneur with success coach, holistic nurse practitioner, and best-selling author, Bonnie Groessl. Bonnie shares inspirational and enlightening content to educate, empower, and facilitate well-being while nurturing the mind-body-spirit connection. This boost of positive energy will help you manage stress and make the most of your life, allowing you to thrive in the new normal. Now, please welcome the host of The Holistic Entrepreneur, Bonnie Groessl.
Well, welcome everyone. This is your host, Bonnie Groessl, here at The Holistic Entrepreneur. Now, today we're going to talk about the power of the written word and how journaling can change your life. But more of that in just a moment. First, I always want to let you know how grateful I am for you sharing your valuable time with me. I so appreciate you. So if this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you've tuned in before, welcome back. I hope that you find this will be another valuable episode with tips and insights to help you toward your enhanced well-being. Now, I always want to remind you that the information shared here is educational, inspirational, and motivational in nature, but I always want you to just take what fits for you and simply let go of the rest. This show does not intend or imply to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment either. I always want to start every show with that little reminder for all of us. Now, the other thing that I always love to do when we get together every week is to remind you to take a moment for you, to just stop. If you're able to, like you're not driving the car or something, just stop and just breathe. I mean, you can breathe while you're driving the car, but I do want you to pay attention to the road. But when you stop and just breathe, notice your breath with intention. So just stop for a moment and notice the air coming in and the air going out. And notice what a beautiful human being you are. You are truly loved. You have to know that. Now, I want to remind you to just stop and notice every time we get together. Maybe this is the only moment you take for yourself, but it is so important for your overall well-being. So really, the more you can do this, the better. And as a reminder, make sure you check out the show page below for the links to the things that I have for you, the things that we talk about, and you can always connect with me at bonniegroessl.com. I would love to hear how it's going, so please post your progress or send me a message on the Facebook page at Coach Bonnie Groessl. All of those links are on the show page below. Now, today we're going to talk about journaling. You know, there truly is power in the written word. And there isn't just one way to journal. You can journal all kinds of ways. I mean, when we were teenagers, maybe our journal was a diary, right? And it was a great outlet for frustrations or what didn't go well that day or what was going on with our social life. Journaling techniques are a great way to work on your inner game and manifest the life you want. I mean, simply writing down what happened and what you did in a certain day, that's really more like a diary. And if that's the type of journaling you do, that's fine. Just add a gratitude section to each entry if you don't already do this. I mean, as an example, before I begin a journal entry, I list 3 things that I'm grateful for. Maybe from the day before or that day. And journaling is typically part of my morning daily routine, so it's generally from the day before. But you can do this really any time of the day and do what fits for you. But I always start with gratitude, and then I go into my entry, whatever that is. Now, journaling can be done in lots of ways, and I truly do believe that there is power in the written word. But adding the emotion is really what gives it the superpower. When you think something, say something, or write something, in your gut, you can really tell if you believe it or not, right? Just notice how you feel when you say something or write something down. Notice, do you feel empowered and confident? Maybe there's a little smile on your face. Now, if you don't believe what you just wrote or what you just said, you have a very different reaction, don't you? Journaling can be done however you want to do it, but it's the feeling, the emotion that really gives it the power. Now, journaling can be handwritten, pen and paper, writing on your computer or mobile device, even on your phone. Or you can even do voice recognition by speaking into your phone or mobile device and then having the words written for you. There really is no right or wrong way. Journaling can be done however you want to do it, whenever you want to do it. It may be every day, may not be every day. I like to make it part of my daily routine. Now, personally, I like to handwrite things. I don't worry about my penmanship or even if anyone can read it because they usually can't. I just let it flow and let the emotion take over. I use a small journal and my favorite purple or pink pen, and then I just write. But I only use one side of the page. And that's something that I just do. And the reason I do that is because I get so excited by the time I get to the end of that page. I want to be excited to continue the next page. So how I journal is not writing and writing and writing, but I do just a little bit on one side of one page. Now, that's not the only way you can journal, certainly. There are lots of ways. We're going to talk about some of those today. So you can journal the present, right? What's going on today? Write about what an awesome things are happening in your day today or yesterday if you are writing first thing in the morning. And then this becomes your gratitude practice. Maybe you want to write about what could have been improved or could have been done differently. And then be grateful for right now. Be grateful for today, the moment. And then plan the next day, the day ahead. Think about what would make that day even more awesome. And then, of course, adding what you're grateful for, what hasn't already happened in your physical reality. What you just imagine is going to happen. Not that you've seen any physical evidence of it yet. You can journal that way. You can do some free writing. Just get it out there. Sometimes this is called a brain dump. If something's bothering you, get it out on paper and then you're able to let it go. If you're working on something or creating something, it can be used as a brainstorming exercise. I think it's good to add a splash of gratitude in every entry, no matter what type of journaling you're doing. Now, people usually set a timer for this type of writing because it can kind of get away on you. Just write what comes to you. Don't second guess it. Don't try to analyze it. Just let it flow. And notice how you feel. And when you notice how you feel, you can clarify your thoughts and feelings as you need to. And it may really uncover some interesting things that are going on with you that you really had no clue were going on with you. Now, you can do an art journal. Maybe you want to be expressive and draw or doodle. You can do this as your journal practice. Or you can add journaling to your written journal. It doesn't make any difference. Sometimes it's hard to find the words, right? But an image will convey that feeling or that desire that you have. So draw something. You can write a letter to yourself. If you write a letter to yourself, it should make you feel good. The things that you maybe don't feel comfortable saying in public for fear of sounding arrogant or something like that, but you really want to give yourself the feedback. Like how beautiful you look today, how proud you are of something that you did or who you've become. You can write a letter to yourself anytime. You can write a letter to somebody else that you probably never intend to send, but it gets your emotions out. Say you're upset about something or something that happened. Get it all out there. Doing this type of journaling exercise can really help you to let it go then. You can keep a dream journal, and that helps you understand your emotions when you're in that unconscious state, when you're sleeping. You can start by writing down whatever you remember from your dream. The more you journal, the better your memory will get. So the more you do this, the better you'll become at it. Now do this before you're really fully awake, because once we return to a conscious state, we have really a lot of trouble remembering our dreams, don't we? So you want to keep your journal maybe on your nightstand or someplace close so that you can do this before you even get out of bed. And just write down words, phrases, draw something, just little bits that you remember. Because then later on in the day, you can go back to it and more of the dream might come back into your memory. It'll sort of trigger your memory. And when we become aware of our dreams, we can understand how a good dream or a bad dream, a nightmare, can really subconsciously impact your day. It also helps you to form new ideas and solutions. Einstein used his dreams to develop some of the formulas and theories that he created. Journaling the future is another thing that you can do. This is one of my favorites. You write today's date, and I always begin with gratitude. I think that's a good thing to do. So begin with what you're grateful for, like right now. whether it's in your physical awareness or not. I mean, maybe it's something you just want. You're just grateful for having it, even though it's not there yet. And then you put your life out a certain period of time, 6 months or a year or whatever, and imagine your life already being there in that day. Notice the experiences, the sights, the sounds, the smells. Incorporate as many senses as you can. Imagine your life as if it were happening right now in today, just the way you want it to be. But you really have to feel it and believe it. That's the caveat. So you really need to feel like you're there. And then write about how grateful you are for having this experience in your life right now. Imagining the life that you want is your experience right at the moment. I believe that things and experiences manifest energetically before we see any physical evidence of it. So you're really not writing about something that hasn't happened yet. Because time really isn't linear. If you believe in that, I do, that everything is kind of happening all at the same time. So write about that. Feel it. Feel as though you're there. Now, when you journal, whatever type of journaling you do, but especially with journaling in the future, try not to get too much into the details. It's more about the feeling. You don't want to get bogged down in the details on how something's going to happen. You just want to know that it is happening. Like he's a law of attraction coach, Mike Dooley says, the devil is in the details. And I really believe that. Don't get caught up in the details, just how it feels to be there right now. And then end with a thank you. Feeling gratitude. Feel that gratitude well up in your heart because it feels so good to be where you want to be. Now, as I've said, there's no right or wrong way to journal. The important thing is that you enjoy it. And it's not a chore or something that you have to add to your to-do list. So any way you want to do it, whatever fits for you is really what you should do. Now, your action step for this week is to start some sort of a journal practice. I've covered a few methods today, but there are so many other ways to journal. So decide what works for you. Go online and look at more options on journaling. Expressing yourself on paper is so powerful. So until next time, I wish you health, happiness, and abundance. I want to thank you for joining me at the Holistic Entrepreneur Show today. I know that time is our most precious asset, and so I appreciate you spending your time with me. Now, my purpose is to be of the best service to this community. Whether it's your personal or your work life, I'm here to support you. The best place to get the latest scoop is at bonniegroessl.com. Everything is there. We can connect, and you'll find special offers and gifts that I have for you to help you attain the health, happiness, and abundance you deserve. And I encourage you to sign up for my monthly newsletter for more useful information and exclusive offers. The links are on the show page below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to the Holistic Entrepreneur Show on your favorite podcast directory so that you automatically receive the newest episode when it's released. Until next time, this is Bonnie Groessl, wishing you health, happiness, and abundance.